Thank you for joining me on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins. I'm your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, giving you our picks, and hopefully with our picks and your picks, it'll be a profitable one for you. So we're going to get into baseball preseason bets. These are going to be our season-long bets for baseball, just to kind of run through that. And then also we'll, with the baseball, once baseball starts up next week or so, we'll definitely get you the day-by-day plays that we play. But these are the season-long bets on that one there. Everything basically, everything will be based on units, but just to kind of give you an idea, we've got player props in there. We've got, win totals, division wins, things of that nature. So we'll get started. The first one's going to be the Diamondbacks under 74.5 wins. After winning a little over 50 some games the year before, last year they ended up winning 74. So the line at 74.5. We did get this at an even money play for a 3-unit play on that one. I'm here in Phoenix. I'll be really honest with you. I don't know how they win 70 games. So I don't know how they won 74 last year though either. The team's discombobulated. The manager's not that good. They're not really strong at any particular point besides maybe Zach Gallen, pitcher, but their bullpen's garbage. The rest of their staff has not been that great. Corbin Carroll's awesome to watch, but being one of the best young player prospects in baseball, but he's a speed guy. He's not a power guy as much. So there is a little bit of difficulty there for them to generate wins. So I think this is a good underplay at 74.5. So you figure if they went, if 70 and 92, so 74 and 88, will put you at the number. So all those will work. The next one is the Cleveland Guardians, who I think are getting undervalued quite a bit. Over 86.5 wins. This was a 10-unit play. So one of our bigger plays for the year. On that, they should run away with the Central. In the American League, I don't know exactly who they think is going to compete with them. The Twins, they got Correa back, but still not a great combo there. The White Sox continually underachieve with that ball club. I'm a Royals fan, as well as, the Cubs will always be number one in my heart. I'm a Royals fan, but the Royals aren't ready to compete either. So I'm not quite sure who they think they're going to win. 5 games over, 81 and 81 puts you at dead even, right? So now you're just asking for 6 more wins. Should be pretty easy. I think this is a top 10, or upper third, batting lineup. Tristan McKenzie, who you'll see with some player props that we have later on. We think he's going to have a big year. Shane Bieber, another year off injury. So should be a good season for Shane if he can stay healthy as well. So love them at over 86.5 wins for the Guardians. The next one's going to be an under on the somehow Texas Rangers. I don't know how Jacob deGrom is worth 14 wins. I don't even know if he'll stay healthy for a month. So I can't really see that one there. So under 82.5 wins. We did catch this at minus 115, but this is a 25-unit play for us. So it'll be our biggest play of the preseason for the year on that one. So Rangers under 82.5 wins. As I just talked about the Royals, I think their win total is a little bit low. I think this team can win 75 games this year, maybe push close for 500. If that's the case, the over 69.5 will be an easy cover. Over 69.5 wins for the Royals. That was a 10-unit play for us as well. So the next ones are going to be 3 teams we got here. So the first one was the Guardians, who we went over their win total earlier. We like them to win the AL Central at plus 135 is when we grabbed that. That was a 5-unit play. We like the Blue Jays quite a bit. This number's come down. We did catch it at plus 215 for a 2-unit play. And the Mets, this was before the Diaz injury, plus 130 for a 2-unit play. I know it's probably plus 175 plus-ish now. Their win total came way down too, as everybody's high on the Mets, as they should be. It's a good ball club. They should compete for the playoffs. They got a good chance to win the East between them and the Braves. I think the Phillies are going to take a wild side going down. But it should be another 2-horse race with the other 3 teams waving as they pass them by. So the Rockies be our next play here, over 65.5 wins. We're not asking for a lot here. It's like 66 and 96 gets us home. So that's not a huge stumbling block. The Rockies are not good, but most teams can figure out a way to win 60 games. The question is can you not lose 100, right? Which would, you got to win 63. There's just a couple more wins to get over there on the Rockies there. The next one's going to actually be Aaron Judge. After coming off his banner year, MVP year, first time he's ever basically played the whole damn season besides his rookie year. Obviously 62 home runs. His home run total at 45.5, and we are taking the under. It's health. He's not proven over a long period of time he can stay healthy for a season. I happen to do it in a contract year, which is fabulous for him as he's hitting free agency. But under 45.5 home runs for a 3-unit play. We're also sticking with the Yankees there. We got a couple more plays with them. Under 95.5 wins. Obviously, we took the Blue Jays to win the division. I think the Blue Jays are going to win 95 to 100 games, and I think the Yankees are probably going to slot in somewhere in that 90 ballpark, probably with the Rays right around there as well. The next one is one of their off-season acquisitions, Carlos Rondon. Obviously, he's coming off stellar year again. First year with a new team normally doesn't work out tremendously well. Sometimes it does, but not on an average. So under 224.5 strikeouts for Carlos Rondon for the Yankees as well. Now we just talked about the Rangers, and that's our number 1 play for the preseason. Going with that one, we're also going to hit the Jacob deGrom. This number's come way down. Obviously, because he was been hurt. He's supposed to make the opening day start, but he's been hurt for a lot of spring training. Jacob deGrom under 205.5 Ks, strikeouts for the season. This is all a health. If Jacob deGrom stays healthy for a whole season and makes 30-plus starts, he's going to have 270 Ks. I mean, this is a health bet all the way. That one there for a 5-unit play for us. Justin Verlander going over to the Mets. Obviously, we talked about them winning the East. We also like his over 13.5 wins for a 5-unit play. Verlander, if he stays healthy, should win 15 games without blinking an eye. He could probably still miss a month and still win the 15 games. Then we're going to get to Tristan McKenzie. We mentioned the Guardians earlier, how we like them to win the Central. We love over win total. We love Tristan McKenzie over 11.5 wins as well. A 7-unit play for us there. When we caught that one, over 11.5 wins for McKenzie. Fernando Tatis, missing all of last year, going to miss 20 games to start off this season. This number's came down to 1 home run, but we did grab under 34.5 home runs for 10-unit play on Tatis. That lineup is stacked. I think the Padres are going to have a good year. They're going to be able to push the Dodgers. I think this is going to be one of the years the Dodgers are not going to be like so far ahead of everybody else, and it's just due to the fact they're trying to save some money on the luxury tax and not be over again. So they let some pieces go. They also have some health problems. Galvin Lux obviously going out. You can't count on Kershaw too often. He's going to probably miss 2 months somewhere during the season. Urias is a great pitcher. Walker Buehler's still out. When's that going to? Is Dustin May back? There's a lot of question marks that they haven't had before on that. So I think the Padres are going to compete well with them. I just don't think Tatis is going to be smashing the ball as much as he has in the past. So then we also took Mike Trout as well under his home run total of under 39.5 home runs for a 3-unit play. This is a health thing again as well. If Trout stays healthy, he probably pushes 50, but he has not stayed healthy last few seasons. I mean, I expect him to finish with 35 home runs, playing 130 games, have an MVP type season again and not win the MVP. Pete Alonso, you'll see him quite a bit throughout this. We're going to start off with his over 108.5 RBIs. I think he will drive in a lot of runs for the Mets. The Mets are going to win a lot of games. They're going to have a lot of runners. The offense should be pretty good. We're also going to take his over 38.5 home runs for a 3-unit play. And then we mentioned the NL East earlier. The Phillies, we are going under 88.5 wins on that one. That was a pretty sizable play for us, though, a 6-unit play on the Phillies win total under. Largest win streak by any team over 13.5 games. So we just need one team in the MLB all season long to have a 14-game winning streak. If that's the case, it pays at plus 155 when we grabbed a 3-unit play for us there. The Royals, who we picked over their win total, we're also going to take their longest win streak over 5.5 games for a 3-unit play. That was at minus 105 when we grabbed that one there. Now we got a couple of season-long plays, or season-long award plays. So Tristan McKenzie, who we mentioned earlier, we really like his over win total. I think this is going to be a bust-out season for him. For him to win the Cy Young, we grabbed it at plus 3,000 for a 1-unit play. Pete Alonso, who we mentioned, over home runs and RBIs that we like. We also like to win MVP at plus 1,500 for a 1-unit play. Max Fried, we also like him for the Braves to have a good season as well. Plus 1,000 for a 1-unit play for him to win Cy Young. We mentioned McKenzie more than once, so we're going back to the K's total, strikeout total for him. Over 189.5 is where we grabbed it, minus 115 for an 8-unit play. Aaron Nola, we mentioned the Phillies earlier. I just don't see them repeating the magic that they had last year. So we're going to take under 220.5 Ks. That has come down. 4-unit play on that one. And then Pete Alonso, we've got him in head-to-head matchups and home runs with him and Mike Trout. Aaron Judge and Mike Trout. Both of them 5-unit plays for us. That Pete Alonso will have more home runs than Aaron Judge for a 5-unit play and more home runs than Mike Trout for a 5-unit play. Luis Castillo for the Mariners, contract year. This is a contract year bet for sure. Over 190.5 Ks for a 3-unit play for us. And then Pete Alonso, most homers in the majors, plus 900 for a 1-unit play. Rafael Devers coming off that huge monster contract he signed with the Red Sox. We actually like him for the most hits in the MLB for a 1-unit play. Mookie Betts, who should score a lot of runs like he normally does if he can stay healthy for a full season. Most runs in the major leagues for plus 700 for a 1-unit play. Julio Rodriguez, one of the most exciting players in all of baseball for the Mariners, plus 1,200 for the most stolen bases in the majors for a 1-unit play. We mentioned Julio Urias for the Dodgers. He's going to be their ace, get the opening day nod. We like him for the most wins in the majors, plus 1,500 for a 1-unit play. And then the last two we're going to kind of wrap up with. So the Rays, which we mentioned to win the AL East, we like them over 91.5 wins for a 3-unit play. And then just an oddball one, you can make season-long series bets. The Rays always own the Yankees. So they were actually plus money to win the season series against the Yankees. So basically you need 10 out of 19 to get that done, plus 135 for a 2-unit play. So that kind of runs through what we're looking at for our season-long plays for the Major League Baseball coming up. Typically, we only focus on around 4 teams in the majors and make plays against, or 4 or totals. It's hard to follow all the teams and get kind of the nooks and crannies, unlike the NFL, where you can follow all the teams because they only play once a week. But when you're playing 6 or 7 games in a week, it can get pretty taxing unless you're just watching this full time on there. So typically it's going to be about 4 teams that we watch quite a bit and make plays on and off of those, just depending on where, pitching matchups, juice, injuries, things of that nature. So just to give you a heads up what's coming up, and then we will give you those plays daily as well, and try to keep up with those as much as we possibly can. And then, as always, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you check out the comment section where you'll find our Google sheet so you can follow along, see how we do, and see all the bets that we made, where we got those. And then also you can look back to football if you want to as well. But football and baseball will be definitely front of mind as of last week and as we're finishing up the NCAA tournament as well. So I did want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. As always, if you could rate, review, or subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to us on, whether it be the YouTube channel, Google, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, or any of the great ones out there, I'd appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you on the next episode.